for freedom, for freedom, for freedom, for freedom.
Hello, family. I know it's been a while. We'll get better. Pray for us that we'll get on here with more regularity. If you don't pray, think happy thoughts. If you don't think happy thoughts, you're in the right place because we're going to talk about some positivity and as it relates, positivity as it relates to our words. I just had the opportunity to pull some young men aside, and I'm honored and I'm duty bound to do so. But before I even get to this story, let me first talk about this tendency, that our youth have, and guess where they got it from? Got it from us, got it from the parents. There's a tendency for there to be foul language, oppressive language, even when there's no oppressor or oppression around. What do I mean? Let me give you a scenario. A couple months ago, we had the joy and the pleasure of going on a cruise. And on this cruise ship, as you may well know, there's these teen centers. And in the teen center, I mean, they just get to play video games and party and drink their juice and have their snacks and dance. And it's just, I mean, it's set up for them to have fun. As I would pass this teen center, I would hear, now look, this is going to be some fun. I'm just going to use the language as it's used. If this is offensive to you, then you're going to be offended. But I'm going to use this language anyway, because it's the language, the parlance of the youth of today and the youth of my time too, and probably yours, even if you're older than me. Let's just get real. So I'm passing the teen center and nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that. Heard him on day one, night one, didn't say anything. Heard him on night two, didn't say anything. Heard him on night three, couldn't hold my peace. Pulled him on the side, and I told him, why would you use that language on this ship? There's no one oppressing you. There's no one being unkind to you. Why are you being unkind to each other? Why are you using the language of the oppressor? And then I asked them to man up. And I also asked them to make me a promise that they would stop using that language. Especially, there is no reason. What are you unhappy about? As an aside, there was a young lady there too, and I asked her to please allow us this time to speak. I did that because young men and older men, I mean, you know, we behave differently when women are around, and we can have a tendency to be more embarrassed by straight talk, or we start performing for the women that are around, or the young ladies in this case that are around. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to embarrass them. I just wanted them to man up. That was a couple months ago. Now, fast forward to today. I'm sitting here, I'll put some of the music on that I was listening to. I was in a beautiful, creative space. I'm in my world. I'm in my world of analysis and using some formulas to develop some new tools for my business. I'm really in the space that I love, this creative space. And in my earshot, I hear motherfucker this, nigga that, motherfucker this, as the teenagers are in my front driveway playing basketball. I want to be clear here, as I told them, this is not language that I don't know of. This is not language that I have not used when I was a youth, and even unfortunately when I was an elder, as I am an elder. It's not that the language is foreign to me. It is that you don't know how to code switch, so you really don't know the power of these words. What do I mean? I mean, you're playing basketball on a black man's land in total freedom. We own the land. You can play here freely. If we're eating, you can eat. If we have Gatorade, you have Gatorade. Whatever we have is free for you to have. Don't mind you playing basketball with my sons out front. In fact, I love it. That's why we built this. 4 days such as this, I have no problem with it. Quite the contrary. But I am concerned, as I share with them, I'm concerned that in the absence of oppression, in the absence of any oppressor, I said, am I oppressing you? Am I causing you to feel angst? Am I causing you to feel unwelcome as your manhood, causing you to feel that your manhood is low? And they said no. And then I began to explain to them, do you understand even what that word motherfucker means? Do you even understand that during slavery, during enslavement, that those who were over the enslaved, another word for them were masters, they would rape and mutilate men and women. So this was the true motherfucking from the true motherfuckers.
Even more significant is the fact that the white male could not abstain from making sexual aggressions toward the black female. Indeed, some of the most important founding fathers of the so-called United States of America were involved actively and continuously in relationships with black women, i.e. George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. This pattern of sexual aggression of the white male towards the black female continues unabated to this day. Ultimately, it's little wonder that black stockings, black underwear, black sleepwear are items of sexual stimulation for the white male collective. It should be noted that the term sexual aggression is used to imply a sexual relationship between political unequals. The white male is power, and the black female, like black male, is powerless. Sexual favors are thus directly or indirectly forced from the powerless partner. Each time the white male imposed or imposes himself sexually upon a black female at the deep levels of symbolic thought, he can be viewed as having intercourse with the reflection of his original black mother. Thus, the deep and fundamental psychodynamics of the white supremacy system culture, the white male becomes the original motherfucker.
I know it's hard. I know the language may be hard, but listen, y'all, we got to quit this. We put up these barriers with the youth when they use this kind of language, and then we start otherizing our youth. They're not other than us. They are a part of us. They're part of our family. So I sat right in the middle of them, and I explained it to them. These words have power. Are you saying that you believe your brother so low that you're sitting here playing basketball with, that now you have to become the oppressor and use oppressive language as to call him a motherfucker? Is that your intent with the words? Then I explained nigger. Bastardization of Negro coming from the term black. Nothing wrong with black. It becomes bad when it becomes an oppressive tool, an epithet for those who are enslaved to cause them to be low and to feel low. And it says more about them than it says about those who were called nigger. Why would the oppressor, why would the architect of enslavement, why would they need a word so low? Why would they need a people so low for them to feel up? What does that say about them? In the grand words of our dear beloved brother and icon, James Baldwin. What does that say about you if you need a nigga?
What white people have to do is try to find out in their own hearts why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. Because I'm not a nigger. I'm a man. But if you think I'm a nigger, it means you need it. The question you've got to ask yourself, the white population of this country has got to ask itself, North and South, because it's one country, and for a Negro, there is no difference in the North and the South. There's just a difference in the way they castrate you. But the fact of the castration is the American fact. If I'm not the nigger here, and you invented him, you, the white people, invented him, then you got to find out why.
So then I asked the young men the same question. What does that say about you, young man, that you need your brother right here that's playing basketball, you need him to be a nigger? You need a nigger? Why? What does that say about you? Words have power, young men, I told them. And once you understand the power of these words, I want you to think about not using these words, not using these words at all, not using these words particularly, know how to code switch. When you're in front of my property, I've done nothing to harm you. Why would you use harmful language on my property? And then I asked them to talk, and what would they say? And of course, they apologized. And I want you all to know, in the true sense of forgive, I forgave them before I even went out there. I've been that youth before. I've used that language before. Didn't know what I was doing. They don't know. So they need someone to teach them. Now that they know, should they use that language again, then they're totally in the wrong, because now they know better. They know better on different levels. They already knew. You know what foul language is. I'm not letting them off the hook there. But there's levels to it, right? They did not know the significance of enslavement upon those words. But now they do. So wrapping up, what do we want to talk about here? What do we want to get out of this particular discussion? One is mother, father, uncle, aunt, cousin. That means everyone. Everyone's a cousin or an aunt or mother or father. Everyone is at least that. Brother, sister. Let's stop othering our children. Let's stop othering our teenagers. Let's get right in the middle of the cipher, lovingly, very patiently, very kindly. Do you know what these words you're saying? Do you know the meaning of these words? Do you mean them to be so hateful? Did you mean to say such hateful things to your brother? The depth of these words. And then challenge them to do better. Okay? Won't we do that? Love you, beloved. This has just been a quick little rant in love and in peace. Blessings.